Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new hardware review today with a keyboard. This is the Velocifire VM01 gaming mechanical LED backlit keyboard given to us by the people at Velocifire to review and to keep around forever and ever, and I'd like to thank them for this opportunity. So as you may be able to tell from the price that's listed somewhere to my left or right, this only costs around 40 bucks, which is not a lot compared to the other keyboards we've had on the show, which were sort of a bit more expensive, around 70 to 80 bucks, sometimes even 90. Even the one that didn't have a numpad cost around 60, I believe. So would that make this a lesser keyboard, one that is not worth your time? Well, stay tuned to find out. It may actually surprise you. Or not. Stay tuned just in case. First thing to note about this keyboard. It is heavy. Like, it is properly a heavy keyboard, and I can't really say for sure why in terms of functionality, because this doesn't have a wrap around the bar of LEDs with it to make up for all the weight that shouldn't be there, but instead it is just made with quite a lot of plastic. I mean, even on the backside there is quite a lot of plastic because it doesn't have those extendable feet. Instead, you can see it does have just this inclination, meaning that it will always be at a certain angle compared to the horizontal, and it's not in any way adjustable. So if you actually wanted the keyboard to be flat on the surface, yeah, you're kind of out of luck with this one. It's cheap, but that comes at a sacrifice of certain features. Also, you may notice that it is kind of a bit tall, taller than most other keyboards. And from the description, it does say that they have this rounded edge here with the mini, well, no, it's not a palm rest, but it has this rounded edge that's supposed to somehow relieve stress when you keep your wrists on it like this. And my experience, well, were this keyboard shorter, yeah, maybe the inclination of this edge would help, but considering how tall it is, it doesn't really do much to relieve stress on your wrists. It's not a medical hazard like I previously thought it would be when you type with your hand at a bit of a lower level than, you know, actually at a vertical angle. But it's still not what you would call the most comfortable position to write on a keyboard. Again, it's mostly due to the fact that it is quite a bit taller than most keyboards are, and it's not in any way, shape or form adjustable. Also, again, it is heavy. Like, this is proper zombie apocalypse improvised weapons, so if you're ever in danger of needing something to hit a zombie with, yeah, go with this one. It's honestly about as heavy as the Havit one that does have the LED bar. Also, because it weighs a ton, it will never slip, it will never slide, it will just stay in place, probably until the Hulk comes to pick it up, or Thor, who knows. It's probably made of Majorlin from, oh my god, this thing is getting heavier by the moment. Now, let's talk about some of the other features. This keyboard has a complete set of media controls and all sorts of multifunctional things up on the function keys. The volume keys are actually very well placed, like you can use them both with the FN and with the function keys with just one hand. They're not placed somewhere around here like they are on some other keyboards. But again, I would have preferred if it had a knob or dial or something other than FN and something else. It's an ease of use thing, it's a comfort thing, and I will always prefer that opposed to having function and something else. I gotta say, I like that it has options for skip track, for pause, for play, and if you're inclined to use these things, you have search, you have launching Winamp, you have calculator, and my computer if you do use this on the keyboard. Could probably even combine these with something, an utilitarian tool. The keyboard doesn't have one, but you can probably find one on the web that lets you rebind these to something else, I'm guessing. Also, something to note, there is no LED indicator for scroll lock. Instead, this is for the window key, which can block with function and the function key and the Windows key. Scroll lock is sort of shoved to the wayside of history because it's does scroll lock even do anything nowadays? There's something we should do a show about if Linus hasn't done one already. Probably has, the bastard. Also, you may notice that the buttons don't seem to have all that many things inscribed upon them, compared to the Heaven one, I mean. You'll just have one single button dedicated to lighting, and well, yeah, these ones for the intensity and for the scrolling speed. This is not what you would call a keyboard with a plethora of lighting options. It has very basic ones with only one color, a bright bluish glow that's quite practical, I'd have to say. It's easily visible in the daytime, at nighttime, and it's not overly offensive, though I gotta say the keycaps are not necessarily the best possible. Well, the lighting through them isn't the best possible because sometimes letters like the T from tab, the C from caps lock, and some other stuff will not light up properly. There's just a faint little glow in the middle, and it doesn't radiate through the whole key. You can sort of feel the more budget-oriented aspect of this keyboard in the lighting, which again, apart from being always on, does not have any useful modes. There's a Tetris mode, there's a scrolling mode, but compared to what we've had on the show before, I honestly don't know why it has them. They're not all that good. They're not all that showy either. I mean, it's just one color, and it's not the prettiest thing in the history of lighting. But hey, when it's always on or when it's in reading mode, it works, and that's something I can probably say for this entire keyboard. It works. In spite of being dubbed a gaming keyboard, there are no options for setting, you know, some sort of custom macros or light areas. There are no light areas. You're basically stuck with the default lighting system, which, again, it's a budget keyboard, so you really can't expect that much. No, wait, it does actually have one gaming feature. If you press FN and W, you will switch the arrow keys with the WSD keys, which is well, it can be useful in GTA if you like driving with the arrow keys instead of using them for your phone and don't want to reassign them for everything else. But other than that, it's bare bones. But you know what you can expect with this one? Working keys! Yeah! The Zorro switches, the Zorro Brown switches which are in this keyboard, work! Unlike Kale Brown switches which, you know, don't. Sometimes, quite often, and they fail after a while. Well, they haven't completely failed on my other keyboard, but they're getting there. Yeah, the Zorro switches are not... They don't feel like the Kale ones, and they don't feel like the other ones. I've actually forgot what their name was, the ones on the Zorro keyboard. I think I confused them with Cherry ones, but they're not Cherry, they're something else. They don't feel like either of them. They're a bit softer than the Kale ones. They actually produce less noise because of it. Like you need even less force to push them down. They make even less noise, well, unless you just jam the keys up to the bottom. And they don't have that the springiness to them that the Zorro ones had. They're still okay to type. Like, I've had no problems typing with them. Well, apart from adjusting to the way you actually have to put your hand on this thing. I've had no problems with getting adjusted to typing on this keyboard. It works fine. Gaming with it, yeah, no problems. I've been playing some League of Legends recently and there's been no issues. Well, League of Legends had some issues with freezing for a second when you're about to cast something, but something else happens and it captures the one frame and you're dead. But no, that's not something to do with the keyboard. The keyboard is actually working quite fine. Even though it's not what we'd call an exciting keyboard, it's boring. It's a keyboard that's exceedingly, absolutely, astonishingly boring. There's little no customization options. There's no frizzle, no frazzle, no show, no glitter, no sparkle. It's just a keyboard, and it works. It's really not all that exciting. It does have a full slam your head into it N key rollover and anti-ghosting, so yeah, you can type with this by slamming your head on it, or you can play fighting games by slamming your head into the keyboard. I do not endorse that method of fighting in a computer game, though it would make for a very interesting show. We should probably do that. Can you win a multiplayer fighting game just by slamming your head onto the keyboard? I should get Raul to do that because he has blue keys and they will be more responsive, also hurt more. But apart from that, yeah, it's an absolutely okay keyboard. The manufacturer also says that it is a very durable keyboard and, well, it's heavy, that I can tell you for sure, so if you drop this on the ground, odds are the ground will suffer more than the keyboard. I can't attest for how durable the switches themselves are because I've only had a couple of weeks to test this, but through the hell of typing several thousand words a day for the past 2 weeks, well, it hasn't failed on me yet, so yeah, like I said, from the get-go, better than Kale. So if you're a keyboard manufacturer that's making keyboards with Kale switches, Kale Brown switches, consider Zorro. Maybe, I don't know. I still have a very bad history with Kale switches. Well, that would actually be it for this keyboard review. Like, there's really not that much to say. Well, yeah, the USB thing is a bit gold-plated-ish for extra durability, so well, it's not like these things will actually give away before the keyboard is broken on top of a zombie's head or anything, but hey, that's something to do. Also, the cable is quite long, in case you're interested. It's not braided or anything, it's just a standard cable. But it's functional, it's a budget-oriented mechanical keyboard, and yeah, it works. It works. It's boring as hell, but it works. So I guess I'll see you soon with a brand new review of something else. I'm not sure if I already posted the review of the Hori Tech Command thing, that thingamabob with the mouse and the control keyboard-ish thing. It's a very strange thing to review. I'm not sure if I've done it well from your point of view, if it's been published or not. If it has, well, next time is gonna be kind of mystery because we do have something to review for next time. Well, I do have something to review. Raul sort of doesn't want me to do this because he says we're not that kind of channel, but I'm gonna review a phone. Yeah, a brand new shiny phone that's actually current gen and it's not horrible. So yeah, maybe a phone review. Who knows? I may review a lamp as well. Well, no, not a lamp. That's Lankar's thing. So I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.